Oftentimes, when I go out and evangelize, I'll talk to Christians and they'll question me as to whether I'm trying to be saved by my works. And I really think it's a very silly question. Was Paul trying to be saved by his works when he was evangelizing, or Peter or John? Of course not. Now, Revelation 14:12 says, "Here is the patience of the saints, those that keep the commandments of God and have the faith of Jesus." So our works are not oppositional to our faith, but we have a faith that works by love. And I'm not trying to gain God's favor by my works, but because God has shown me favor, I want to work. Now, the Bible says that the law is a mirror, that it shows us our sinfulness. Paul said, "I had not known sin but by the law." Yet a mirror is not able to cleanse us of one speck. Now, the Israelites at the bottom of Mount Sinai said, "All that the Lord has said we will do." So some people try to fulfill the law of God in their own effort. But the Bible says that all our righteousness is but filthy rags. So those that try to cleanse themselves of the speck with a filthy rag just make themselves more filthy. And so the law brings us to the foot of the cross. As the Bible says, the law is a tutor or a schoolmaster to bring us to Christ. It helps us to realize that in of ourselves, we cannot keep God's commandments. And that's why we need the Spirit of Jesus in us, living in us, right? I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. And when Christ lives in me, then I'm able to do all things, including, and most importantly, keeping God's law. Now, there are many Christians that say, well, the law was done away with at the cross. And effectively what they're saying is I no longer have a diagnosis tool to diagnose my sin. And that's a very dangerous place to be in. Paul, one of the greatest apostles and wrote half of the New Testament books, said, "O wretched man that I am! The things that I wish to do, that I do not do, and that which I do not wish to do, that I do. Who will deliver me from this body of death?" And so Paul was keenly aware as a Christian that he still struggled with sin. And God has cleansed me of many things like drug addiction, but I still struggle with sin. And any Christian that says that they don't is a liar. And so we have to be careful about what we say and what we think about the law of God. Because many of these Christians that question me about whether I'm trying to keep the law in order to be saved, sadly are the ones that don't keep the law and are not saved. And the Bible says this is how we shall know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. Jesus said, "If you love me, keep my commandments." And the Bible tells us to test all spirits, whether they be of God. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this, there is no light in them. And so I ask you to question yourself today by the law of God. Have you kept it? And remember, O foolish man, faith without works is dead.